Morning, 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 morning. For sure. I'd like to know what they are. Put it that way. Yeah. One came from a WhatsApp. Maybe he's going to join us just now. This morning, about a short on this one, which we'll discuss. I'm very iffy on the dollar. I'm actually very iffy at the moment on most of the stuff. A little bit bad, minus 0.4 compared to plus 0.3, that is, sales down, yeah. Okay. But you've got more bloody nerve than me, short and CAD, mind you. I've been wrong for the last bloody month on that thing, so why not be wrong again? Yeah, that's what you mean, okay, range trade. I get your point, a range trade. I'm just scared. Morning anyway, morning all. Yeah. Where are we? I can see you mean. How far is it down here? Yeah, plenty of downside. Yeah, range trade it. Why not? Yeah. Good point you made there. Yeah, that's why older you get more scared. When you're young, you don't have that fear because you don't know what to be scared of. I've been in the market a long time, so I know I'm getting pretty scared. Ah, there we are. Thank you. I'll just do that NZD. I was looking at it just now before we came on there. Okay, right. Yeah, okay. AUD USD, what do you want to do with this one? You're long on this one. Yeah, I think you mean a bounce here against the dollar. The dollar's not looking pretty iffy at the moment. Very iffy, in fact. Can't seem to get any movement going. Yeah. So the 4 hour. You see some sellers coming in here. Indecision. You're a braver man than me. I'm not sure I'd be selling it through here, but the buy. Scaring me, yeah. That's in a nutshell. I like that. Candles are scaring me. Look at those candles. The buyers and sellers are going about. Goes up, comes off. Let's look at the shorter term. Shooting pops up, sellers coming in. Again, even on the 1 hour, it's only half an hour old at the moment. Went up, sellers came in. All right, a couple of buyers coming in here now. Yeah. Not sure about that. CAD, I got some sympathy with, yeah, because it's a range trade, come off a bit more. Seems to be no sign of any residual strength creeping in. So, yeah, as good as any, yeah. I prefer that to the AUD one, put it that way. Not that I'm that keen on any. Right, NZD, wasn't you actually, it was another guy came up there, Cozy. No, it was you. Was it you? Yes, it was. NZD CAD. Asked me about shorting this one. You're going to look at the daily. You see, it's taken out the 10-day, a bit of indecision there. Remember, I mentioned to you the weekly. That's the part that worries worries me. On the weekly, this seems to be holding. That's the reason why I ran scared about the short. And let's have a look at the distance between the two, 40 odd pips. So that's why I was on the fence on that one. Okay. So yeah, that's the only reason. Okay. I'm not that convinced. If this was completely red, I'd say, hey, it looks like you got pullback. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, well, nearly 8 weeks it's been up. A bit of downside, you think some profit taking downside occur, but that held. If that hadn't been there, I would say not a bad idea. That's the only reason I'm scared. Okay, now I just want to say it can be what we call a truncated session today. It's not going to be a full one. For another reason, I think going into the weekend, it's going to be a bit quiet. If you guys come up with something that goes over, I'm more than happy, no problem at all there. But I don't think it's going to be much action going into the weekend. I think there's a lot of guys going to be on the road leaving. I think a lot of guys took the holiday, taking a bit of a break over here. Yeah, I think it's going to be a bit quiet again today, but I can be led astray if you come up with good ones. The US dollar ZAR, we took it yesterday, and it seems to be doing okay. It seems to be doing okay so far. We modified the stop, hopefully just below that. Yeah, just below that. Okay, that's fine. We modified the stop. If anyone's still in there, you should still be in there with this case, a no risk trade, because we modified it to entry. Don't chase it now. Yeah, I still see some upside. The beauty is with this particular one, if it doesn't occur and you get stopped out, we don't make any money, but at least you won't lose. Okay, so hang on in there and see if we get some more upside. For the 4 hour, yeah, it came off a bit in the last 4 hour candles, and the buyers are coming in. It's a bit stilted, as you can see, but there could be some upside coming in. We've got this Nasdaq thing going on today. Quite amused listening to it. Not one's pitched up on time. What these meant to go to this Nasdaq conference, and not one of them was actually pitched up. So all the not the interviewers, the spokesmen, the people who were doing the what should we call it, we're all standing there trying to make conversation because they're waiting for the guys to pitch. It's supposed to start at 9 o'clock, and I think 1 or 2 just started drifting now. Makes me laugh. Anyway. Yeah, so maybe it's going to be an interesting day with regards to ZAR, but yeah, we'll see if we get some more upside, at least in a risk-free trade. Okay, we got a few out yesterday, and the pound JPY hit the target, dollar yen. I think most people are out of it. Those are still in it. Well, I presume you modified your stop, or they stopped out in the modified stop and a profit, or still in. But if you are, it doesn't really matter because you're in a profit anyway, so you get more upside still in. Okay, gold, I don't know many people took it actually in the end. The CHF JPY was a winner, so that's fine. Definitely S&P 500 was a winner, so that's very, very much more fine. If you're still in the S&P, I don't many people are, you can modify your stop again. I think make it down to maybe 3,920. There you are. Yeah, make it 3,920 and see if you squeeze some more out of it, being a nice profit over 100 pips anyway, so it doesn't matter. So make it 3,920 if you're still in it. If not, don't chase it now, leave it alone. That's in, the guys are still in it. The gold didn't get stopped out, a bit disappointing. I don't think many people took it actually, but that being as it may, it's going to be trying to pop up again, so it might survive this trade. It's more or less just a slight dollar or so below entry. 82, yeah, $2 below entry. Nearly hit the stop, but it didn't. It's popping up again, so it might be right. But the good news is, whether it does or not, I don't think many people are in it anyway. So that's about a roundup what we've gone through so far. But most of it, I have to say, is good news. Oh yes, the share. Microsoft, 260 something, 261.80. Maybe you guys modified your stop. If you didn't, well, you can't now anyway. But I think you did it for 254. So you should be all right. It got down at one stage 247. We've got a TP of 240. It might get there. The Nasdaq, as you say, is taken out 11.5. It's now the technical damage on that means it wasn't a neutral, now it's the sell zone. Well, I've been screaming about shorten the rally since I don't know when. So that seems to be paying off dividends. It's broken at M5. It wasn't a range of M5 to 12,000. Seen it broken through. So let's say it might pop up a bit of support there, and then might break through. So we'll see what happens there. So it's sort of in a jerky, jumping around way on the overall picture, seems to be panning out, which is okay. I feel I quite like it, yes. I do still quite like it. Yeah. I think it's going to have another bash at 1800. Yeah, let's do it. If you like it, I do quite like it. I'm just going to mute you. There's a bit of background noise there. If you want to speak, no problem. I'll unmute. So I've just muted everyone. Morning, Mr. McLean. Right, I do quite like it. Yeah, I'm going to do a tight stop. Get stopped out, so be it. But anyway, it's going to be tight. And I'm going to go for the 1800 as before. Quite like it. And it's not. It's it's about 20 bucks a micro. So it's yeah. It's a very doable, and I do see some upside. There we are. Let's look at the 4 hour. Anything on the problem of the week for me further? No, it seems to be all right. 4 hour. Not much go there. Candles again. Bit of range trading. The beauty of the costs are very, very minimal on this one. So even it doesn't get 1800, and you go in, you get $4 or $5 movement on the upside. You can move your stop up to break even, and then start moving up and up until basically get stopped out. It might not get 1800, but the range trade means you might get a profit if you enter now. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, you can grab it now if you like. Stop at 1770. If it starts moving up, even 83, 84 area, get your stop up to break even or just above to cover your costs. And if it slides a bit more, comes off, take it. Might get to 1800, we'll see. But that's a bit of a short-term trade. You never go out without the cost being too hectic. Okay, happy with that before we go on to Eugene's one? Okay, give it a shot, work out your position size, and then have a go. Okay, fine. Thank you. Okay, right, was it GBP, JPY? I looked at all of them again this morning. I must have done really stood out to me, but I might have missed something. Right, before I see what did you say there? The short, yeah. What makes you think that's going to be a short? Okay, Jesse, I'll take your support there. GBP, JPY. I tell you what, I'm going to have an idea. Eugene likes that as a short. What do you think, guys think? I do a heck of a lot of talking. This is my want. Morning, Zeth. So instead of me doing the talking on that one, looking at the information there, we haven't got the 4 hour or weekly as such, just on the daily, a short on that one. Any comments? Let's have a little bit of a forum here. There's quite a few guys, some experience in there. Let's see what you got to say. Gerard, there's Jethro, Boani's spoken before. There's a few guys in there and not too scared to talk. So what do you think? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Do you think it's a long? What do you think of Eugene Short there? I've made my opinion without looking at anything else, but I'll have a look at a few more in a moment. But just before we go and look at anything else, okay. Anyone else? Short buy it? I'll tell you what, make it more interesting. You cannot loan. You've got to go one, when you do it, you don't have to do it physically, but just to make an interesting sort of debate on what we've learned and what we think, you've got to take the trade. You cannot leave this alone. So a buy, a buy, a buy. I'm afraid to say, guys, I have to say I agree with the majority. Sorry about that, Eugene. My opinion is that. Why is it? I think the other guys looking at it. There haven't been any longer ones, just on this one, right? It's in the buy zone. It's not got any particular movement to tell me it's going to suddenly screen down. Why would you be buying the yen suddenly and selling the pound? A couple of things have come out in the pound, but still be holding up pretty well. But on a technical basis, nothing else. It hasn't been broken. It's down. You can see all these areas here. Look at this going way back to September. Well, say way back, it's only about 3 months ago. And that's holding. On the daily, I must say I see some upside. Let's have a look at the weekly. You see, that's coming. Let's try a shorter term one. 4 hours. Yes, we've got the momentum down. However, this is getting in the way for short. It's only how far away? 20 pips away, and it could bounce there. It's right down on support. Are coming in on the 1 hour. And a few, not much, but a little bit on the 15 minutes. I think there's a more likelihood of probability that will hold for some upside. What can we look at the upside target? Plenty, even though it looks like a short area and space-wise on the chart. If you look at the actual differential there, it's over 100 pips. So I would say the likelihood, once you confirm bounce off there might be some upside. I'm afraid to say sorry about that, Eugene. Thanks for the thought, but just not me. It seems to be the majority of the guys here would rather go for up than down, and I'm afraid to say I do agree with it. In fact, I point out so about the salt in the wounds, Eugene. I'm a bit iffy about getting a trader there. Now I'm thinking more and more we could have one here, but to get the other way around. Just thanks for pointing it out. You might be right, but I think might have done us a favor, but the other way around. Yeah, I think we can get a bit of a. This can hold and bounce. We've got plenty. Keeps happening to me. We've got plenty of upside here, so we don't have to worry particularly about getting confirmed and not getting a risk reward. Because if it does even get in here from the bounce, put a stop down here, even down here, you still get. In fact, yeah, you get a risk reward, no problem. I think there's a possibility of upside here. Thanks for pointing it out. You are indeed. God, you've got your sense of humor, yeah. Going to be greedy in weight. That's not being greedy, that's being sensible. You're not being impulsive. A greedy person going, now, sod it, I'm preempted. Okay, we'll come back to this one. Let's put it down and come back to this possibility. Let's get a confirmed bounce. We've got a possibility of this one. Give me a second to write it down. GBP, JPY, potential buy. GBP USD. Looked at that very much this morning. I hear you. Maybe it looks at a buy up. Depends on the dollar. Too scared to short it because it's come off so much and there's a lot of hindrance in the way. How far away is that? Let's check. 66, so we can't do that short. My angle on the upside, but I'm too scared to go and buy it. The other thing is look at the candle again, look at the wick. Try to move up, sellers came in. Try to move down, buyers came in. Drifting this one. No, I don't see a buyer or sell on this one. You see what I'm getting at? See, guys, it's not that difficult. Once you simplify the charts and look at it and get sort of an idea of it, after a while, it's like changing gear. It's not that difficult. Where it does become difficult is the variables out there that stuff the system up. I was using like the blackjack table to play blackjack. You know, you always get some guy who doubles on 17. You know, why are you doing that? And that can stuff the system up because emotion leaves the logic, like I mentioned. But yeah, I think it's probably a bit of potential upside here, but I'm scared. I'm scared of $7 at the moment. I can't see a downside because there's too many objects in the way. To me, it's an LIA. But I would go for the buyers more likely. I get you there, Alex, but the candle's not giving me confidence of momentum to the upside. So to me, it's sort of iffy. Yeah. Look at the alley. That doesn't really give me confidence on the alley either. Look at that. All those hours to go all the way up there, and in 1 hour, in fact, 47 minutes, bang down again. If I had to, I'm afraid I would agree with you, Alex. If I really had to, I'd go in. And if I got a couple of pips, I'd be out of there. Yeah, I'm not confident it's going to go way back up at this stage. So if you want to just grab and keep your fingers crossed and maybe grab 20 on the off chance, that to me. But proper strategic trade with a proper SL and TP, I'm not confident will reach enough to make the risk worthwhile. And even if you do grab 20 pips, you know what I'm saying? You've risked maybe 70, 80 to get there. Is it worth it? Make sense? Could be, yeah, could be. Maybe a little bit of that's the news. Yeah, you're right. The fundamental, yeah. Okay, yeah, okay, looks like GBP CAD. Now, GBP CHF as a sell potential. We'll look at this one first. This has given a lot of jip. A lot of jip. Pete knows what I'm talking about here. Hey, Pete. Pietro, a lot of jip. Not to me, but we all know who. Right. What do you make of that? Looks like a buy, hey? Does that give you confidence? This is a nearly 10-hour-old, that candle. And the 10-day moving average, it's a daily candle. It's only 10 hours old. Remember that. This held, sellers came in. So it came off and this held. I would say if it breaks up there, I'd be more confident to get more momentum. At the moment, it's drifting, doesn't really know. It could easily pull back. I don't know. Yeah, okay. Shouldn't really be saying that, hey, so we'll leave it there. I don't know. I really can say on that one, I don't know. I think that's more, to me, that's more of a flip of the coin, a conflict going either way. I haven't got a gun against my head. I don't have to do it, so I'm not going to leave it. Any agreements, disagreements there, Zeph? I take the point where you're coming from, the overvalued area. I'm just not confident. Maybe I don't break. It's a bit of, no, I'm not confident. I think it's, yeah. As I say, there's always a risk in everything, but you work out, and is the risk justified? I always go back to the car again. The risk is justified because it's an extremely dangerous thing to be in, as we all know. But the risk is justified because the benefits that come from it. I can't see the justification of risk as short at the moment. LIA, yeah. Is it worth it? I don't think so. Okay, GBP CHF. I think it's a possibility here. Where's the 200? I think this has got a possibility here to the downside. I prefer the Swissy against the CAD, to be honest. Yeah, so I think that's popped down to a bit of support there, popped back up again. It's from the weekly. Yeah, a 4 hour. As it pops up, the sellers are coming in, not breaking through. I guess give you on that one. See the candle, you can see immediately what the buyers and sellers are doing. Very much consolidation on the 1 hour. But what's gonna move it back up here? The fundies are out. I don't think there's going to be much impetus on there. And from a fundamental economic point of view, I'll take the Swissy every time over the pound, over the UK, I mean. Okay, Zeph, keep your fingers crossed, wish you luck. We're not in it going the other way, so we hope you're right. And then you can laugh at us because we chickened out. So keep your fingers crossed. And by the way, remind me, guys, going into next week, if it does go wrong, just remind me to laugh the other way around. Good old belly laugh. Kara quite likes it, eh? So true. That's true. True. That's what you mean. Yeah. Take your point. Who's doing this? Let's have a wider stop. Make it there. 1380. $1182. What it is now? 182. That's right. $140 a micro. What do you reckon? It's a pity on these, these emojis. We don't have custard pies, and we can sling at each other if one gets it right, one gets it wrong. Eh? That'd be a fun thing to have. Eh? A sort of a virtual custard pie slinging. Anyway, yeah. So what do you think? 140. Let's just see again. 4 hour. 15 minutes. Yeah, 15 minutes, bit indecision, but every time it pops up, the sellers are coming in, trying to get some movement. But on a fundamental economic, that is not as good as that. Pound is not as good as Swiss franc. And on a technical base, it isn't a sell zone. I think that's higher. I think it's higher than the one so far. What a brilliant question. Right, what a brilliant question. Let's do this two to there. Depends how much you got in your account. As I say, the universal norm is 2%, but you cannot do that on small accounts. Now, you remember you're mixing with guys out there in the big wide world out there who've got accounts that are quite big. So what am I trying to say? A lot of guys over here have got small accounts. So I don't know what you got in your account, but if you got, let's say, 5 grand, I personally think about 300, maybe 320. Okay, if you got 10 grand, 500 to 600. If you got 3 grand, about 250. Again, percentage-wise, it's a lot higher, maybe even 200. If you got 2 grand, you've got to go the 10% route, otherwise you're wasting your time. If you got 500, you've got to overexpose. You cannot go on 10% and risk 50. You'll never get into a trade. Look at this, is 140. So therefore, you've got to go 30%. That's why you do need capital, because there's so limited lack of it. We all know that. So I don't know what's in your account. If it's 5 grand, about 300 grand. If you want to share it with us, you're not shy, I can give it to you. Yeah. But anyway, what do you think about that one? 2K. Okay, well, then you go 0.01. It is 2K 150. That's what, about 7%. Is that right? 2,210. Yeah, it's about 7%, something like that. We'll come to that one in a minute, Mike. Yeah, so go 1 micro. Okay. Because I mean, people feel insulted, but I mean, 2,000 is what's that? It's about $120. You put it in perspective, in $1 trillion industry, you get it. So it's, I hear you, but it's just got to face up the fact you've got to deal with the tools you've got. But it is a plastic spanner. Just bear that in mind. Okay, I hope that sort of makes sense. We're not touching on emotions here. Very limited. Okay, right, the other part, if you're having a bad day, now that's where the discipline comes in. What you do is, if you've had a good day, you go into big on your next one. If you had a bad day, you go into small on the next one. It's very difficult to put behind you what's happened before. So in other words, if you're prepared to risk, let's say 200 rand, whether you had a bad day or not, had a good day or a bad day, shall I say, 200 should be the way, because you had a good day, don't go to 300, and a bad day, go to 100. If you feel comfortable to take the trade, and somehow you're going to be confident enough to do it, I know if you had a bad day, the confidence goes down. It's a natural human reaction. But if you overcome that lack of confidence and go for it, stick with the 150 or 200 you're prepared to risk. Don't double up or halve it or whatever. Stick with it. Because that's when you miss out. You had a bad day and you get knocked on a good day and you put it back again. Because you get overconfident or lack of confidence. Stick with that discipline, if you know what I'm trying to say. Okay, makes sense, hopefully. Right. I'm trying to work out, what about a pending order to cover your risk reward? I'm not quite sure I know what you mean by that, so I'm hesitant to answer that. A little bit, it's just small. I'm looking at the hourly one, just a little bit. That's popped back again. It's drifting, to be honest, Gerard, so I wouldn't be too worried about that at the moment. I'm not quite sure. What about a pending order to cover your RR? I'm not quite sure what you mean by that, to be honest. Unless you're looking for a pending order, but I see what you mean, because it's come down to 1.5. See, the problem is going the right way. If you took the trade, you're already in, you're laughing now. It's already going the right way. We might get a bit of noise around the figure, by the way. But okay, I see what you're on about now. I get it. Thank you, Jethro. I see what you're talking about now. You're saying it's getting a bit below the 1.5 area because the ship is sailing. Look at the 15-minute. See what I mean? Well, I'll tell you what you could do. If you want to go in now, I don't really want to miss. I don't really want to play around with it. No, I don't really want to do that. You could put the TP a little bit wider. In fact, you could even make the SL a little bit tighter if you want. You could even make the SL a little bit tighter. On the other hand, you might get a little bit of psychological, remember that round figure psychological support resistance, you might get a little bit of bounce around these levels and then get a slightly better price. Oh, there you are, getting a slightly better price and slight bounce there, so you're okay. You see what Jethro means by that? He wants to try and get in around about this level here, which it may occur, but it hasn't occurred in the last 10 hours or so, so why should it only occur now? It's getting a bit of a bounce here, so if you're in, hold on. If you're not in, let's see, you get a bit of a bounce. Not much of one. I think you're going to market now, Mike. It's cleaned out a few TPs there, but I'm not sure there's a heck of a lot of them before the sellers come back in again. Hope you all know what I mean by that. There'll be a lot of TPs there, which are on a sell. I'll be covered, it'll be buy orders. Remember, the TP and the sell's a buy order. It'll jump around that level, but it's not much follow through. I'd grab it there. But to me, it's helping my cause a bit there. Okay, so we're in it. You're happy with that? Well, we got it. 05, we call it 1.1305. 1.1380, 1.1182. Okay. No, I'm afraid, as I say, Apple, some of you eat. Clinton is the guy. He does the few things for the company, which we'll call it platform training. I'm doing that tomorrow if you're interested. Fitting in because one of the guys on leave, but tomorrow morning. But no, I'm just not clued up. I'm just not clued up on Apple, I'm afraid. Unless you talk about, I talked to you about the MT5 on Apple. If you talk about the share itself, worry about that later on this afternoon. If you like it, remember going to the weekend, maybe rather wait till Monday. Unless you know Apple's in trouble, and if you know it, then everyone else knows it, probably over down. I don't know about it. I can't even make a comment whether I like it or not, because I never used it. Whoa, that's just popping up a bit. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear. But anyway, we've got a few guys in it, so we'll see how it goes from there. We'll come back. GBP-JPY. You looked at that just now. Let's get this out of the way. GBP-JPY. We're looking here for a buy. I know we're selling one and maybe buying the other on the pound scenario, but a JPY is very different to Swiss franc at the moment. So I have to sell on one and buy on the other one. Let's see if that holds. Keep an eye on that. Is that 167 going to hold for a bounce? I think there's a chance we might get a bounce there. Just checking it out to come back to. Okay. Okay, fair enough. Okay, getting back the 100 and try minutes. That's a theory. It always works out like everything else. But yeah, I agree about 100, 200. I'm afraid we'll talk about brand names, Jethro. That I'm totally with you. I just love that show me. I've been with them now. By luck of the draw, I got it about 3-4 years ago, and for the first time, because it seemed, hang on, it seemed pretty good bang for your buck, and I've been stuck with it. Yeah, I'm very brand, what you call it, supportive on them. Show me's the way to go, absolutely. I've got 2 phones, both show me's, and they're both nearly 3 years old. They're still fine. The battery's still lasting well. Probably up to sometime in the new year, get another one. It'll be a show me, yeah. And the thing is that I fork out a lot, maybe 5 or 6K. I don't need 256, gigs, 128 gigs, and a 60 gig for the other one for the Spotify music and photos and the rest of it. Happy to, and 6 gig RAM. Got the speed, 6,000 rand, 5,000, whatever it is. What a pleasure. Yeah. If you employ me to show me salesman, I think I'll do pretty well in it. I really do believe in that brand. It's really great. Good Chinese, they control it from Apple and come with a better price. Charming. Yeah. Well, mine's still fine, but if it starts, it's a throwaway society. Just get another phone. Okay, we'll hang 5 on that one. I think we get a bounce. I want to come back to it. It's a possibility. 5 years, that's a fair whack. And that is a long time for a £5 phone, eh? Euro NZD. What do you want to do with this? You want to short it? Yeah, it's in a neutral zone. I can see what you're coming from there. We had a big spike, yeah, because the hawkish stance by the euro. I think it's going to be maintained, which could give some euro strength going forward, which might mean some upside. Whoa, that's a difficult one. Technically speaking, I'm not that confident. It's popped up, I hear you, but look, the buyers are coming again. Let's look at the weekly. 4 hour. Yeah, that's my problem. There's a 4 hour. See where we come from, Karat. That's my problem. Yeah, okay. Good. We're getting there. We're getting there. We're seeing it. Didn't have to spit it out. What a pleasure. And that's just something we do in a couple of months. Getting the idea. Brilliant. Yeah, okay, Mikhail. Penny orders down here somewhere, I suppose, or higher up. Maybe there. We'll see. Yeah. Okay. Entry, exit, like in, you mean trade levels, you mean? I've got a trade on this chart. Unless I'm missing the point there. IT is not my strong point. Or I'm misunderstanding is probably a better point. I'm not sure what you mean there. No, for short. Don't tell me it's bouncing up now. The question makes me a long. To me, it's a short. Oh, sorry, I'm looking at the wrong one. I'm looking at GBP CHF. Sorry, CHF JPY for buy. I like that, Mike. It's come a cropper. Go back and chat to Zeph on that one. CHF. No, I certainly wouldn't. No, don't be shorting it. No, we want to buy it, but I want to buy it back here. That's right. I mentioned it yesterday. If we can come back here, we can buy it. It's come back to a bit of support there. Where's the distance here? That's not going to work. I'll tell you that there. We get a risk reward. Let's look at the 4 hour. 1 hour. Weekly. I'll be honest, I'm not against a buyer, certainly not a short. I'm not against it, but I'd be more confident if it came back here and bounced, to be honest. But yeah, I have to say, but it's going in a sort of nervous zone to buy it here. Although, yeah, you know what I'm saying? I would not be shorting it. Am I being over enthusiastic of buying it here? I think prefer there. I prefer it can come back here personally, but I'm certainly not think that's wrong. You put your stop down here, and you can still get a decent stop down there. That's likely to hold. Let's just crunch it a bit. You certainly get a risk reward. I do quite like it actually. There's a CAD JPY in a minute. I must admit, I do quite like it. I supported the Swiss franc. Had a bit of a movement. Interest rates have strengthened up a bit. Yeah, I'm quite supportive on that one. Well, difficult. Help me, guys. Help me. Do we go in now or wait a bit? See what you mean. Yeah, okay. Well, I've got them in, but I'm not on a particular one there. Where's it come in? Which one is it? I'm not sure we get it there. Sorry about that. Wait to retrace the 50. Okay, we'll wait. Okay. Properties. I've got the I've got that already in there. Top tabs. It's going to be a bit thick here. Oh, I see what you mean. Okay. So what do I do now? Under show. Correct? Is that right? Go. How do you calculate margin? Depends. But it depends what account you've got. Best way to get a margin is, let me do the CHF JPY. This is a 500 to 1. So you go to specification. The margin is 0.003%. With that into 100, it makes it about what? This is about 330, leverage of 330 on that one. So so 330 divided into the 100,000 in dollars will give you the margin in dollars, just multiplied to around. So what's that come to off the top of my head? 100,000, 10,000, or 1,000. Is that right? 100,000, 10,000, 100,000. That's 100 to 1. So it'll be a third of that. Is about 300. Yeah, it's about $300. Divide that by 100. It's about $30, plus minus $30. That can't be right. Got a good buddy calculator. You might can't do it at the top of the head. Give me a second. Right, 100,000 is the contract size for one standard lot, divided by 333. Actually, I've got a better one here. 100,000 multiplied by 0.003 equals $30. 100,000. On the 5 drawn account, it's about $30. So it should be in the region $3. What's that? I don't know, about what's $3 times 10 to 30, 45. It's about 50 rand on a 500. And if you got 100 to 1, do the same. So I don't know which one you got. Have you got 100 to 1 or 500 to 1 yearly? Are you talking about? Yeah, okay, you're talking about the spread. Yeah, I take your point completely. 100 to 1. So go to specifications, right? Right click on the margin on the 100 to 1. It'll give you a figure here, and I'll work it out for you. That's correct. That's correct. But I'm just going to help them through this, right? So what's that figure down there? What's it say on the margin on that one you want to look at? But I'll tell you off the top of my head, it should be in the region of about 280 bucks. Most of the Forex ones, excluding the rand, I might add, which is a lot higher, it'll be around about the 280. If you're with me on that. Yeah, well, no, the margin is a deposit on the contract. The contract on the, we'll stick with this one. Right click. Let's just sort this out. Sorry, guys, just sort this out so everyone understands. The contract size for 1.0 is 100,000. Now, that is the price of the motor car, 100,000. Now, what you do is you're going to put a deposit to buy that car, right? And that's where the swap fees come in, because you're paying interest on the amount you borrow, the bounce, like you would a motor car or a house or whatever you're buying on tick. So the contract for 1.0 is $100,000. So what's the deposit? The margin means deposit. On the 500 to 1, it's 0.003. Okay, so that divided into 100 is about just over 300, about 330 to 1 leverage. On the 100 to 1, that might give a figure of I don't know what, because I haven't got it in front of me. But whatever that margin is, you divide into 100, and that's your leverage. Okay, that's just a deposit on one. And now you're not doing a stand, you're doing a micro, so you divide that again by 100. It would help me actually, Alexander, if you just tell me what if you got as a margin on 100,000 onto one account on the CHF JPY, and I can work it for you. Just tap it out, man, and I can see it. I'm going blind at the moment. Not okay. I need a figure. Sorry, what? Holding everyone up. Give me a figure. Can we do it this year? Just give me a figure. On the 100,000, what is the margin on 100 to 1 account? It's the 500 to 1. I need to get that figure. Can somebody help him on 100 to 1? Because I can't go forward unless you give me that figure. It's obviously not forthcoming, so we'll leave it. Okay. But as long as you got something to, thank you. Thank you, Jethro. Right. 0.015. So let's do the maths then. Right, the contract size we determine is 100,000. Right, 100,000. Multiply it by 0.015 equals, that is $1,500. Right, we'll stick to dollars, we'll do the rands in a moment. So it's $1,500 is your margin on a standard lot. You're looking at not a micro, yeah, you're looking at a micro. So you've got to divide that by 100. So clearly that'll be $15. So it's going to be $15 is the margin on one micro on that specific interest, in that specific instrument we just looked at. Multiply the $15 by the exchange rate, and that'll be your margin. So I'll multiply it now. 15, what's the exchange rate? 17.5, call it, equals. So your margin will be 260 bucks. You got it? Has everyone got that now? Because you're getting these figures coming through, but I think people interpret them, so it's quite important to learn that. Ah, you got it. Everyone else with us on this one? So all you do, it doesn't matter what you're on, just right click, go to specification. Let's do a share. This is a share, right? That's the contract size is 1, so it's going to be very different to 100,000. Okay, good, great. We all got that. Good. Let's do the Dow Jones. What's the contract size? 10. What does that 10 mean? 10 times. Let's do the Dow first. Might help matters. Hey. What does that mean? That means 10 times the figure there. So one contract exposure, or the price of the house, or whatever you're buying, is $330,000. You got it? Great. That's why 0.01 here is very different to gold than 0.01, because 1,800 is gold. That's 33,000. So it's 18,000 is the contract size on gold. 330 is the contract size on the Dow. And then if you're going mini or micro, you just divide it in dollars, and then you multiply by the exchange rate. Anyone not understand all this? Because this is important, actually. Anyone not understand it? If you don't understand, you need to know, because otherwise you're going to be battling position sizing, understanding what that you're going to do. A lot of guys who trade this don't even know they're in derivatives, what that means in leverage trading. And it's high risk. Nothing wrong with high risk as long as you're aware of it. Are we all good on that? Okay, great. Oh, yeah, this is the whole point. But the trouble is, again, Jetso, the problem is the something for nothing brigade wants a highly leveraged account because they don't have enough money. So I think they'll circumvent that by getting a lower margin and a higher leverage by going in the end to get margin called. I'm afraid there's no way around it. That's why people kill, steal, cheat, everything for the money. That's why they do it. Try to do it without it, then it's not going to work. It is vital. Most are just mathematical lack of understanding of it. That's why they do it. We get it all the time. Didn't hit my stop loss. Why did you close my position? Because you didn't have enough margin. You didn't have enough free margin. You didn't have enough collateral to sustain the open trade. You must have free margin. Because the guy is lending you the money. You take away the collateral, they're going to call in the loan. Simple as that. Well, no, close the biggest one first, and then it comes down to 80% again, and close the next one. Maybe you can part close. Let's say you're getting near to a margin call. You look at the 80%, it's now at 85, getting a bit worried. What you can do is you've got overexposed, you've got 5 in something, or close one. Close, not the total trade. I mean, let's call it 5 minis, okay? Close 1 mini or whatever. Close part of that trade to release margin back into account and increase the free margin so you're in control. We shouldn't get there in the first place. Really? We shouldn't have done. You should close what is necessary to get that above 80% and close again if it keeps on falling. And yeah, we have that principle, the biggest. you might be in 3 and you particularly like the one that's the biggest, but tough, that's the one that goes. So you don't, let's say you got 4 micros in the Dow, you get next to margin call, you have to close it down if you want to hold it. And you just close, let's say 0.01, and let the other 0.03 run, and you're still going down, maybe you should never close it. But it shouldn't occur because you should have a stop loss. It should have been worked out in the first place, and you should have enough free margin. Those only occur because you're not doing your position sizing correct. Quite sure we discuss this because I'm convinced a lot of guys not understand this principle, and it's coming back and smacking, and it's no need to if you understand it. In other words, it's like having a top of the range Formula One motor car. Doesn't mean to say you've got to drive at 300 Ks. Most of the time, you're not doing that. Okay. Didn't need to program in a funding. That's why I don't want to scare you guys. The margin call actually in a way is protective. So you've got funds left in your account. Not helpful. But some guys go into a minus because it shoots through, you get slippage, then you end up owing. Because remember, you've got, let's say, a 500 to 1, 2,000 Rand deposit, £1 million Rand. If that house price suddenly falls by 1%, that's 10 grand. Bang, suddenly, not only your 2 grand deposits wiped, you owe 8 grand. It doesn't happen very often, thank goodness, but it does happen when you get big movements through fundies on incredibly overexposed positions on a highly leveraged account. I've been mentioning it a couple of times where maybe guys who don't know should start with a lower leverage because they don't understand the implications of a high one. In fact, I know for a fact it hasn't been brought in yet in Europe and America that start to restrict people on, shall we say, limited knowledge on having high leverage accounts because they don't understand the implications. So it's like driving a car too fast. You don't understand the dangers of that, if you like. But anyway, are we all clear here? Because I'm rambling a little bit here. Anybody not understand the pros and cons, the implications of exposure? 80% margin level's got to be there. You've got to have free margin in your account because you're borrowing money. You've got to have that collateral or the loan will be called. Simple as that. Are we all on the same page here? Okay, right, moving on. I do that. I work mine, that's me. Not right, wrong, whatever, it's me. I do the 1 day on everything. Doesn't matter which shares. Some people do weekly on shares, 4 hourly on the NASDAQ, maybe a daily on commodity, I don't know. But I do everything on the daily. Once I've worked out what I think I like to do, then I check the other time frames to see if there's getting in the way. I might say, this looks like a great buy. I go to the weekly and I find a bloody great strong moving average there or something to get in the way, 50 pips away, it's not worth my while. Or I look at the 4 hour, it might be a different implication. See, on this one, it's more of a sell. On the daily, it's looking more of a buy, if you like. So I just look at the others to try and get more confirmation. If I'm waiting for a bounce, I might say, am I going to put some in now because I think it's going to go up or wait for confirmation? What do I use for confirmation? So a 15-minute candle, an hourly candle, depends on the volatility. And I'm emotional. If I'm pretty confident, I might overrule the disciplined rules and go in anyway. Depends. But I use the daily anyway. Just I look at the daily. If I think there's something possible here, I look at the other time frames. Okay, move on to CAD JPY. 101. You sold 101.010. Brilliant! You didn't sell that. Good, well done. TP 99.8585. 101. Call it 101. It's about 70 pips away. I'd say 30 pips above market. You maybe make it around 100.60. You all know what I mean by saying market. That's the price at the moment. So I say move your stock 20 below above market when you go long or short. It's 20 pips away from the market. That is a pip. This 2 is not a pip, that's a point. Ignore that, that's 20 pips, that's 34. Ignore the last one. If I say you're going short, make it 30 pips above market, that'd be 163. I just round it down to Jethro to say maybe 160. As long as you all understand that. Because these are quite important pointers, these, which can be discussed. There's not many trades going on. Isn't it? Thank you. No, it's not. There's the confirmation requirement. So Eugene's still there. You might have the last laugh there, Eugene. Looks like the short seems to be playing in. So we all got clever there for the buy. And it looks like it's coming off. That's the market for you. So there we are. But as I say, we haven't got the confirmation for a buy. And if you jumped in and didn't ask my opinion there, or anyone else's opinion, went in, you'd be smiling now. Hey. But I'll still stick with, I think there's like a bit of upside movement. Even if it doesn't, let's try and get a little bit more info there. Even if it doesn't, I still think this is going to hold around about there. I'm expecting a bounce. No, we haven't got a confirmation. Let's look at the 4-hour. No, it's too much noise around these levels here. No, if we're going to short, I need a bit more confirmation. Maybe this guy needs to be taken out, at least this guy here. We haven't got anyone buying yet. Sure. Sorry, Eugene. Looks like you might be all right on this one. But would I go and short it now? I'm not sure. Networks this month have been unstable, has been on and off for most of what you discussed, not coming through to me clearly due to unstable connection. Some module, so that's not being able to do. It very much does suck. I totally agree with you. Yeah. Is it? Okay, I'll come to that in a minute. Surprised because the dollar's not doing too badly on the DXY. Leotili, I hear you. I can't really help you obviously on the network. It's a pity because it's very important you do get it. We've chatted before, you're clearly an intelligent guy. It won't take long for you to click into place, so don't worry about that, it will happen. But I'm saying we do need to know what we've talked about in those levels there. It's very important. Okay. But yeah, don't get too cute yet. We might still get the bounce, we'll see. That's why Roger was scared, yeah. Thank you, Jethro. You read my mind. Right, it's falling, yeah, but we want it to fall because we want to buy it. I'm assuming we're on agreement on that. We want to buy it. Is it going to fall enough to get in, which I hopefully around about this level and bounce? Need to bounce first, the confirmation, or is it going to hold this level here? We just have to wait. What's the reality? 15-minute. Yeah, it might. Yeah, it's a potential trade coming up here, but I'm not sure I want to be $7 at the moment. So I'm a bit nervous to buy that anyway. I'm actually pretty nervous all the way through at the moment. Maybe because of reconciliation day. We had such a great day yesterday and such a horrible one the day before, or Tuesday when the CPI came out. I'm a little bit nervous going to the weekend, to be honest. Okay, well done, Zeph. Because remember, looking like a buy there, but now you're buying the pound to sell the dollar. I'm not confident on that moment. The one I was confident on didn't do too well. The CHF, what's it? Was it the GBP CHF? I was fairly confident on that one. What's happening there? Oh, hang on a minute. Hang on a minute. Hang on a minute there. Hey. Come on, guys. The ones who did that one were in profit. 20 pips and counting. Well. There's my confidence jump back again. I'll go back to the old slogan, when in doubt, stay out. I was scared and might be wrong on the one we just discussed, Eugene and the others. Not that confident, so I'm not in it at all. But I was more confident on this one. That's why, I'm more comfortable with it. It seems to be bearing out. Hey, should be some guys in there. I wouldn't chase it now. If you didn't get in there, tough. You missed it. If you're in that one, lekker. GBP CAD. Here's another one I'm not confident. The Canadians give me worries. I don't know why it's still so weak, to be honest. But yeah, it seems to be a little bit weak. Clearly in the buy zone, but I'm not confident that pound is going to continue in that direction upwards. But I'm not that confident downside before I even look at the chart. Now I'm looking at the chart. I can see a 10.5-hour candle is neither up nor down. It's trying to pop up. The 10 days held. I give you a due on that one. As it comes off, a few buyers are coming in. Let's go to shorter term. A few buyers coming in. Right, on the hourly, a few buyers coming in, but it tried to go up. Remember the apply to all charts, these guys? You see that? And the sellers came in. I'm just not confident to sell it, but I'm certainly not confident to buy it either. Okay, great stuff. See you Monday, Jeff. On the what you are in on the GBP CHF? I presume in that one. Aha, good stuff. I'm sorry, Jeff, I'm not keen. I'm just not confident on that one. If you are, great. Maybe someone else can send to you the more confidently. Cheers, Mike. Unless you're saying cheers to Jeff. I'm not confident. Sorry. The only one I've seen confident seems to be bearing out that one this morning, GBP CHF. Even the gold is a bit iffy, honestly. What I said, if you like it, go for the smaller one. Actually, it's not doing too well. But I would be disappointed if the pound Swissy went wrong. That was the one I was more confident. And you can do a lot of trades, but most of them you're not confident on. This always happens. AUDJPY. Yeah, it's in the sell zone. I agree with you, but I still say that there's a good chance for a buy here. I'm not even looking at the sell zone area there. I'm thinking the range trade's been happening where it hasn't got a confirmed break below, and every time it's come down, it's bounced back up again. For a range trade perspective, I'm not sure we got confirmation yet, but I can see some upside. Yeah, thank you. I'm not confident that as well. I'm not keen. I'm not 100% confident on this one, but I do see some upside. Let's look at the 4. Are we getting sellers or buyers? Not a confident 15-minute one either. Yeah, I'm leaning towards a buy on it, but I'm not going to say I'm going to be a hard sell on it, put it that way. Help me out, guys. See a buy here? Or conversely, do you see a sell? I'll be honest, I personally lean towards the upside, but I'm not putting my money on it. My money at the moment is on the pound Swissy. Anyone confident or like this one? Do you see a potential there? What about you, Gene? Do you like it? Mikel likes a short. Anyone confident buy or sell this one? I'm sorry, I'm not. I'm inkling toward a bit of a bounce. Mikel inkling toward a bit more downside. You're not confident? Sell. Where are you going to put the stop? It's a 10 hours old, so you've got to put it above that range. 90 pips away. Let's go to the weekly so we get a target there. Well, hang on, the weekly's not good, is it? There we are. That's answered your question. If you want to sell it, look at that. 60 pips your target, and you've got to go to the 10 hour, not the 10 hour, sorry, the daily for a 10-hour stop. And your stop is 70 odd pips away. 70 to 60 ain't going to work. I know. GBP JPY is overcooked. I think so. You mean you think more downside? Okay, we'll see. We'll have a look in a minute. Yeah, so the sell ain't going to work. You can't get the maths. You can't get the risk reward. So it comes back to the up. Ooh, not confident. Leave it alone. That's why it's nice to discuss it and have a look at it. So there you are, the weekly. Look at this. This is your problem here. 4 hours, didn't tell you anything. Bit of support there. A few buyers coming in for the 15 minutes. Nah, not enough to even give me confidence to buy it. But the sell is out of the question because you can't get the risk reward. Both overcooked, you reckon? What are you trying to say there, Zeph? You say that both overcooked. I still see upside in this one. I think we'll just stick with this one as an academic trade of interest to see what pans out. I'm not sure I'm encouraging you to put money on it. Oh, I see what you mean. Okay. In other words, the pound is a bit over on its own, and the JPY on its own is over. I agree with you. Hear your point now. Talk about the pair. Get your point now. Yeah. I agree on that. I think, in other words, I agree with you. The pound and JPY at the moment are both overvalued. In proper English. Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, the euro, it's not just the fund is coming out, Gerard. It was Lagarde herself said that she's going for the hawkish stance, which strengthened it. And again, as we discussed, it's the same problem as America. Inflation and basically borrowed money and big debt. Well, it might be sales, or it might make a couple of bucks if this bloody GBP CHF works out. It's all good. That thing will work out, when we make some money. A bit too quick to bung your stop in to entry just yet. But if that can take out 70, we can get it down to entry, and then you can relax the rest of the day and know at least you're covered. Oh no, that's what's coming off. Well, if you're long, why would you do that? Got in about 78 or whatever it is just now. It's got 82, it's still okay. It's the one we did this morning, 1770 stop. It might bounce up, it's hovering around. Look at the 15 minute, look at the hour. Now the buyers are coming in. You didn't go into too big, you got your position size right, might work out. Fair enough, fair enough. We shall see. Anyway, we shall see. Well, if you weren't before you started trading, you are now, Eugene. I'm afraid that's the way it is, eh? No, stick with it. You got your stop protector, you got your volumes right, you got your strategy, stick with it. Don't let a bit of a nervous up and down on the reds frighten you off, it might still work out. We've had several trades there looking pretty bleak. GBP recently, JPY, one of them, came off quite a bit, 67.35 entry, came down and dropped below 67, and got probably about 20 pips above our stop. And then it came out and actually hit target. So yeah, stick with it. Okay, right. Anything else? before we wrap it up. We've got to trade out, see it works out, guys. Be a bit cautious. You're going to we're going to new shares later on today, going to the weekend. If you're in them, you know, if you're doing well, modify, protect yourself going to the weekend, normal story. And yeah, and if we've quiet moments in the next couple of days, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we can go over the margins and the implications of it and clarify for those who don't know it in quiet moments, because we don't want to hold up the guys who understand it with new trades. But if we get quiet, we can sort of have a look at it again and just hope the networks are working all right. Because it worries me, guys trading not understand the implications of being in a fast car. Nothing wrong with a fast car. That's why people buy them, as long as you understand it. Okay, all right, guys. Shall we wrap it up then? And then catch you Monday morning. Have a great one, as they say, and hope it works out all right. See you all. Okay, fair enough. Okay, see you all tomorrow, Monday rather, and have a good one. You like Argentina? Okay. I'm not very bothered actually, to be honest. France or Argentina. I'd like just to be different. Morocco to one, and then maybe Croatia. Although I'm not that bothered. It doesn't. Football, I know, is a well-loved sport. Doesn't really blow my head back. I'm more of a rugby, cricket, golf kind of a guy, tennis or whatever. Okay, guys, catch you then. Cheers, eh?